Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and I'm here today with some more Heart of the Swarm action. Today I'm looking at a ZvT. It is on Acheron Waste, so a big map, should be a good macro match. Actually, I know it's a macro match and you know it should be too, because this is going up on YouTube and you can all see the length of the game, or you can make an educated guess. Of course, Blizzard time is this alternate reality that's not quite the same as real time, but generally speaking you can get a good feel for it. So let's get straight to the point. Let's introduce these two players. Up in the top left position, spawning as the red Zerg player from Team Evil Geniuses, it's EGIdrA. And his opponent, down in the lower right, the blue Terran, not someone I've actually personally heard of. It is Mashiro. Mashiro is a really cool name, by the way. I really like that. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Mashiro is a sweet name? It seems like it should be... I'm not sure if it's from something. It seems like it rings a bell, like in my head. I don't know if it's from some kind of anime or something like that, but I'm sure someone in the comment section will let me know. If it's not, if you've ever heard of it, just tell me, because at least then I will be slightly educated if I should know what it is, or I will feel validated in thinking it's an awesome name when you all sit down there and be like, yes, Madals, that name, it is awesome. So I'm currently a little bit sleep deprived because I haven't been back from insomnia long. I'm also recording this just towards the end of two great people from Multiplay have actually just finished off, or about to finish, a 24-hour Heart of the Swarm gaming stream. All in aid of a charity called Special Effect, and everyone should actually go and search for Special Effect and check them out, because what they do is they provide gaming equipment for people with disabilities who can't play video games with, say, a normal Xbox controller because they've got a problem with their hands, and they adapt them so they can. So they're really cool. And you should also check out the 24-hour donation page where actually you can donate to the people who did the 24-hour stream, which I'm going to try and remember. It's just giving.com, I believe, /24-hour HOTS. So I'm just going to leave that up there. You should still be able to donate if you do it within a couple of days after finish that. So if you can't, if you do have any money that you could spare and you think, do you know what would be a good cause, you should go to that. So that's my little bit of promo. I tweeted about it loads as well, so I'm sorry I did send a tweet out every hour that they were doing it saying, reminder everyone, you should check this out. But at the time of recording this, which is, they've got about an hour to go, they've raised just over 1,100 and something odd pounds, so that is very good going. But anyway, back to this game and what's going on. So far, Mashiro has gone for a Reaper opening. Reapers are good units, especially on Acheron Waste, and especially when you build a bunker. EGIdrA, you do know about this bunker now, but you are not pulling your drones. You're just getting out 6 Zerglings, and this is something that you may not be too happy with. You may have wanted to pull those drones, because up comes the Reaper now. The Reaper's coming in, he's going to see the Zerglings pop. Oh, react quickly, pull the Reaper back. Okay, micro, you can do it, Mashiro. EGIdrA, just stay cool. Don't panic, everything will be a-okay. There is a couple of lings down there trying to pick off the SCV. The Reaper's going to get back. Can just come and chill in the bunker, actually, and be very happy about that. Oh, Reaper, watch out. Lots of Zerglings being forced, and this is a point I always try and get across to people. Just because you don't kill any workers, which EGIdRA's killed 1 SCV, Mashiro's killed none, doesn't mean you haven't done damage, because 10 lings have been forced. 10 Zerglings is obviously a lot of drones that were never made, or won't be made for a time. 5 actually. So that is essentially, looking at that Reaper, have done 5 drones worth of damage. And you can't really counterattack with just lings, and especially not that many. So all in all, that's wasted supply, it's wasted units, wasted lava, wasted resources. Generally, good times. I'd be happy with that, yeah. You go, Mashiro. That is precisely what you want to be doing. So, Rotron coming down from EGIdrA. He's on 2 bases. Is he going to be going for some kind of big play? Is he just getting that Rotron out to defend against the inevitable Hellions? More likely. Hellions, they come out time and time again. Follow-up is going to be really nice, actually. Mashiro, he went for these quick Hellions and then into a double CC. I like that purely because you are going to be behind economically, as opposed to going for a 1-Rax command center opening by getting those Reapers out. So getting down that additional command center just means you can catch up. You can try and pump a couple more SCVs. You can take a 3rd relatively quickly, and on Acheron Wastes, that's a safe thing to do. You can knock down this rock tower, take the 3rd base here, knock out these rocks, and defend fairly nicely. The Roaches are going to be able to deal very comfortably with those Hellions, and actually getting 7 out. I'm really feeling EGIdRA is going to be going for some aggression now. You wouldn't get that many. A couple, maybe 4 to defend, that's fine. But this many lings with speed, plus now 10 Roaches, EGIdRA wants to end this game. He's like, no. You attack me with a Reaper, I don't like that, and I'm going to punish you for it. Unfortunately, this orbital command can just lift up. It's a nice little wall off here. Bunker straight away getting chucked down, and that's an interesting reaction. Yeah, the Reaper obviously saw a lot of stuff out, so that is a direct response to that. The orbital command is taking quite a bit of damage. It is just gonna sit there and chill, because ultimately it acts as a delay. Or while EGIdRA's attacking this, he's not attaching the wall off, but he does need to lift up before it sets on fire, so that was a good little move. Overcomes the roaches though, and this is a lot of roaches. Behind this, EGIdRA just droning, just as you'd want to do, but he is on equal workers bar 1, which just means that these additional drones are going to be very, very important. The orbital command trying to lower yet again. The Zergling's getting cleaned up very nicely. Mashiro doing a good job. Some Marauders are out ready to help deal with these, but of course the Hellions tanking up some of the damage isn't the best move. It does quite a bit. This orbital command desperately needs to lift any second, producing an SCV that will inevitably die. There goes down the lift. The orbital command is on fire, so he needs to get back in order to heal up. +1 infantry weapons is coming down. +1 infantry armor should get started shortly. Meanwhile, EGIdRA getting down just to 1. Evolution chamber. He's injecting. He's got his roach one, and it's just softly containing his opponent. These Marauders are very brave Marauders. What are you doing? You're just trying to scare these roaches away. Good preemptive, not premature, preemptive splitting of the roaches to get a good attack arc. Good little bit of kiting here. No concussive shell or anything like that. The Marauders just being baller and awesome. This orbital command desperately needs to get repaired up. If this dies because it doesn't get repaired, I would not be happy with you, Mashiro. Mashiro, I liked your name, I liked your play, and if you let that orbital command die, I will be a sad, sad caster. EGIdRA taking his third though behind this. He's got the double upgrades coming down, which is good. Double upgrades are very good. Everyone should like those because they're pretty swish. Other than that, only 1 gas, mining away, quite happy. Does have 100 now, so there goes Lair. I was about to say, Lair should come down to 100 gas when you've already got speed and the 1-1 coming down. We do also have, this is actually really quite interesting, I should have said more about this. +1 melee attack. A lot, and I mean a real lot, of Zerg players are favouring going Roach Hydra against Terran. It's really a nice composition, especially if they're meching. But because EGIdRA knows the mech isn't coming down, from what he's seen with the Marauders, that is why he's getting out the +1 missile melee attack, and also getting down his Baneling Nest now. So it's much more likely to be a transition into Ling Bling Muta. He got the Roaches initially just in case he was going, well, to do some aggression just in case there was going to be mech, but now he knows that it's infantry. Ling Bling Muta is really hitting the metagame. You actually go late game into a lot of Ultras. Ultras are very strong against that Coffin position, especially if you get a couple of Vipers out. It's nice as well, because Vipers are just good generally. I had some great funs with Vipers on the ladder the other day, and I was just abducting battle cruisers and stuff like that, because that's how I roll. And the poor person I was playing against is a friend of mine. I was just like, abduct. I didn't even do it quickly. You know, like you see some pros just like spam abduct and grab all of them at once? I was just like, no, I did them one at a time, just to make it more painful. So I was just like, grab, kill, grab, kill, grab, kill, grab, kill, kill. And then he raged, which was, well, he didn't rage, that's a lie. He found it very amusing, but thought I was BM for doing it, and I was BM for doing it. Now, back to this game though, we do have Concussive Shell on its way down. We've got a macro hatch for EGIdRA, everything locking really quite splendid. Roach speed, I love it when this all comes together so nicely. The armory finishing up for 2-2 to staff the infantry upgrades. No medevacs yet, just 1 Viking. This is really swish, and the reason it is so swish is because a Viking can come round and kill Overlords. 1 Overlord, 2 Overlord, 3, 4, 5, 6 potentially, all gonna die. Map vision gets knocked out, which means drops can become a lot more viable, and generally speaking you do some damage, potentially supply block, and all in all, are just an awesome player. So that is why getting Vikings early is good. EGIdRA getting out 10 Banelings, 9 more Roaches, so not actually going for that Mutalist style, which I've seen a lot recently, instead just favouring Ling, Roach, Baneling, praying that his opponent doesn't make Banshees, because that would be bad times when you've got nothing that can shoot air other than Queens. And only 3 Queens at that. So the macro hatch nearly is finished up. Creep spread is not so great, but that's because just being a bit of pressure. The Roaches are coming up here though, but the Roaches do not want to engage on their own, especially with the starter step micro occurring. We can see that the upgrades are 1-1, but because there's Roaches and nothing else, obviously the +1 melee attack not doing too much to help. The double drop now coming straight over towards the third, but EGIdRA going for the counter push, is just running those Lings in. This game getting pretty funky now. What's he going to be able to do? The drop is doing a lot of damage back here, but the push in the front is doing even more. The Banelings are rolling in. They're just coming straight up to the supply depot, knock it down, and now the pain is going to come. The main base potentially going to go down. I see no way the Mashiro is going to be able to defend this, but he's doing good damage back at EGIdRA's base. He's got his third up as well. And there is a good number of units here, but not a sensational amount. So if he pumps out units, brings back this drop, he may be okay, especially if he can knock out this third base of EGIdrA. The roaches are down, the hatchery's taking damage, a overlord has been killed, but just EGIdrA flooding across the map now. This cannot be too much more funky, because I don't think this can get taken out. There's definitely not enough units here to kill all of these roaches. But this double drop is being completely let loose to do whatever it so feels like. Mashiro has lifted. He doesn't want his buildings going down. The add-ons will die. You can't lift those, unfortunately. Widow Mines have just triggered. Now, the Widow Mines, there's no detection over here. So eventually, they could kill a lot of stuff. The Marauders are doing a nice job. Another Widow Mine detonation hits. And as we can see, EGIdRA's roach is starting to get a bit lower. The double drop is coming back up towards the main base, and units are there ready to defend. We do have a handful of lings, well, one ling, two lings trying to kill everything. They could do with getting taken out. The Widow Mines nearly off cooldown yet again. A lot more production facilities coming down for Mashiro. He hasn't actually lost too much yet, as far as I'm. Oh, actually, I take that back. He's lost 40 SCVs. That is a lot. It didn't seem like that many. I thought he was going to be okay, guys. But it turns out that this could be terminal. But the roaches, they have been cleaned out for the moment. But how much damage has been done? These Marines Marauders, they've definitely put an end to him. The natural was taken out, but there's still a spare. The third base did get taken out for EGIdRA though, but there's a spare. This is tough to work out. Okay, so let's recap. EGIdRA put on a lot of pain. Double drop from Mashiro, killed the third base. Natural base Mashiro went down to the roaches and lings. Second wave of attacks now coming in, but there are Widow Mines, and they're doing a good amount of damage. That is great. Worker count 52 to 34 in EGIdRA's favour, but Mashiro, guess what? He has a third of his own, which is now his natural. He's got 2 orbital commands, making lots of mules, and mules are good units. So, who's ahead? That is the key question. Well, if we look at the income, obviously EGIdRA's gas income is slightly better. Just a little bit, as you might see there, with the fact that, oh, here he goes, Mashiro, indefinably better right now than he was previously, mining a bit of gas a minute as opposed to none. These drops, well, there's a single Brave Marauder waiting to come back in, ready to do some pain. They're probably not going to achieve very much, but it's there. It's the potential. The risk could go down. Pathogen glands also getting researched. We've got the 2-2 upgrades coming out. So at the moment, the upgrade advantage there for Mashiro. And he's got a sizable army, actually. Credit where credit's due. He's got more army supply than EGIdRA for the moment. He's also dropping with that single Marauder. Oh, the Marauder. Oh, the Marauder. It didn't go. It didn't go to plan. The entire army came back. But don't you worry, because your friends are going to avenge your death. They're coming across the map. They're going to do some pain. They're going to kill some stuff. Come on. I don't know why I'm cheering for Mashiro. I quite like EGIdRA in his play, and I've followed him. He was one of the first pro players I ever saw play, so that was pretty awesome. But no, Mashiro, you can do this. Good Widow Mine hits. That's what you want. Come on, another big Widow Mine hit. There we go. Absolutely brilliant. And this is why Widow Mines are just oh so good. And now the damage going down, but there's a lot of roaches there. Still some Marines coming around for the flank. A good pickup, boosting away. No, nothing to attack air. That one. Oh no, the infestors don't go towards the infestors. Oh, that was very lucky. That medevac would have died. The one with lots of stuff in it would have been dead. Currently, EGIdRA is still on 3 bases, but his third base is back up and running. 58 to 41 workers. So Mashiro, he's catching up slowly. His gas income not great. He hasn't retaken his natural quite yet, but he's producing a lot of stuff. His gas is really what's halting his production, though. So I could do with some more of that. The Widow Mine count is ever increasing. There are 2 overseers. There's one with the army now. That's a good move. If you know there's lots of Widow Mines out and they're killing all your lings, make sure, for goodness sake, that you do get down some detection. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad day. This one Viking still looking around trying to do some damage. But all in all, the resources lost actually quite even. And slightly favouring Mashiro, but Mashiro's income is just nowhere near as good. Come on, Mashiro, step up your gas income. You need more of that. Come on. I want to see you break 200. There we go. Rebuilding your natural now. You know what you're doing. You're mining off of like a whole 3 gases. You want some... Come on. You want to get this. You've got mules. You don't need to worry about your minerals. Just get the gas and everything will be ace. EGIdRA though, he's not having any of this. He's got infestors. It's like he's in Wings of Liberty and he's like, I like roaches, lings, blings and infestors. And he's going to be going for the infestors are coming back though. They're like, actually no, this is not a few months ago. This is now Heart of the Swarm. We're not needed, but the banelings and roaches, they are definitely needed. In they come, the banelings rolling forward. Are they going to make any good connections? Currently just a bit drunk, not quite sure where they're going to go. The units up nice in the choke point. The natural base is going to be forced to cancel. There's no way that's getting saved. There we go. So that's fine. Scan goes off, says, hey, how much is here? A good double drop coming down. Oh, a single drop rather, but the fungal growths are just too good. The drop is also coming down to the 4th base. They're going to force a denial. And with these infantry units, EGIdrA forced back. He's got to go and defend. No cancel went down there. That's frustrating. But the drop of the 3rd was cleaned up. How many workers were killed? Well, 20 this game total compared to 45 of the Zerg player. That's irritating all the banelings, though. They're rolling back. They don't know where they're going. They just got told, move back to base, and that is exactly what they did. Hive is also coming down. So EGIdrA, he wants that Hive. He wants to really get up tier 3. He wants to get some Ultras out and just be like, yep, Ultras herped up. They want cuddles, deadly, deadly cuddles everywhere. And then he should be able to win. For the moment, Mashiro actually not doing too bad. He's got 3-2 upgrades as well. Compare that to EGIdRA's 2-2, and he's got a slight advantage. And advantages are always important, but this lack of a natural is really, really starting to look painful. The gas income, nearly double that for EGIdrA, and EGIdrA, he's going to like that additional gas. It's allowing him to pump the tech-heavy units, make a lot of banelings. Once he's secured his 4th, things are looking good, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. Mashiro is going to have to do something very impressive if he wants to win this game. Now, Changelings even coming in to be like, hey, what up? But Widow Mines detonate on Changelings. Little fact for you, it's because they're burrowed, there's no vision of the Widow Mines, so Changelings don't change. Things today I learned. And you can leave that, if you did learn that today, leave a comment below saying, today I learned Widow Mines, Changelings aren't triggered by Widow Mines if they're burrowed. And you'll be forever educated. It's why Widow Mines, another reason why Widow Mines are actually pretty good units. Everyone likes Widow Mines. Unless your opponent has them and you don't, then you don't like Widow Mines. But aside from that, that's a minor point. The drop coming in, going out. Coming in, going out. Nope, definitely wants to go out. There's units there, not going to work. Main base is pretty undefended. There's only 2 spines, and a drop of 3-2 infantry can definitely take out a spine crawler with fair ease. EGIdrA, though, he is behind in the supply count. Look at this. Mashiro is just pumping units. He's like, I may have been down on workers this entire game, but I have made many a unit that can shoot you. And you are not going to be able to deal with that. So, as we've got now, the Widow Mines burrowing yet again. He's going to bait all of this infantry over the Widow Mines. And that is where things get fun. One Widow Mine did detonate. A good fungal growth goes down. Can you hear the way I'm building tension with my voice? Because I know there's going to be a big engagement any second. The drop is trying to come back in. It's boosting through. Is EGIdrA paying attention? Nope. The medevac just going to go straight over the top. Going to come into the main. And what did I say? The main undefended. This is always a bit dodgy. A few infantry coming up. Coming to take out that overseer. Always good times. The spawning pool getting focused. The spawning pool going down. Those hardcore marines. They're just like, you know what? Poke me all you want. I am going to ignore it, just as everyone has done on Facebook since about 2008, or whenever Facebook was first made. Now, this infantry unit, these units, they're doing some nice damage. They're just happily chipping away. They're being like, herped up, let's kill everything. It'll be all good. One brave marine, the hero marine, he's trying to find an angle to go in at, but unfortunately, he drops right between the spine crawler. But Mashiro, he's going across the map. He's doing everything he can, but in comes EGIdRA's infantry, or EGIdRA's lings and blings into the infantry. Good fungal growth, the banelings are going to be able to connect, and so they do. A lot of damage being done here, but Mashiro is just producing. His macro has been pretty solid. He could do with a few more production facilities. He's getting a bit of a bang. EGIdRA has lost most of his army, and you might be saying, well, this is OP, Terran too strong. But EGIdRA, look at your harvester count. That should be up at about 75 to 80, and then you'd have enough to get a lot of ultras out. You've also got a huge amount of gas, but not very many minerals, so that is something also to bear in mind. Then the Ultralisk Cavern is definitely down somewhere. Where is that? Where are you, Ultralisk Cavern? There we go. Just chilling as a natural. Meanwhile, though, we do have the 4th base getting taken out, and this is a lot of infantry. In come the infestors, though. Fungal growth could be good, unless, of course, all of the medevacs pick up everything and boost out, because boost is incredibly good and incredibly good fun. A few Mutalisks. I'm just going to rub this in. The reason Ling Bling Muta is so good is to stop this happening. To stop the whole army getting lifted and boost away, because the Mutalisks are just like, you may be faster while you're boosting, but the second my boost runs out, Mutas, they catch up, they kill everything. And that is why Mutalisks are good. For one reason, they've also got great DPS, they scale well in numbers, and just generally speaking, they're pretty awesome. But EGIdrA, he's had enough now. He's going to try and finish the game yet again. The Mashiro is ahead in army supply. The infestors get a good fungal growth off. One goes down, though. The energy not that high. Couple more fungals trying to hit. The roach is trying to do more damage. Upgrade-wise, it's +3 melee, +1 missile, and 2 carapace for the Zerg, compared to 3-2 for the infantry. A great little fungal growth there, but more infantry coming up behind. EGIdRA just throwing units at a meat grinder. This is the worst place you can engage with melee units, because the surface area is just so low. The infestors getting taken out, and both these two players are getting very low. And EGIdRA, I was expecting this. I'm not going to lie. For about the last 10 minutes, I've been like, this is beyond belief. I'm waiting waiting for the EGIdrA rage, and it's about to come. The fact he hasn't followed up that sentence, I'm just expecting a wall of text. Oh no, there's just, he's beyond that. Like, this is the next phase, unfortunately, where he's not just angry. He's just, I just don't know what to say. I'm not angry anymore, I'm just disappointed. That is what he's doing. I can see him now shaking his head on screen. But unfortunately, the thing is, I always like this, that EGIdrA, he rages, but there's so many ways he could have played this better. Mashiro just kept going. EGIdrA thought he was too, oh, that is BM, but yeah, this is good points. Yeah, but anyway, we will ignore their rage and see Mashiro keep pushing forward. EGIdrA just suiciding some infestors in. Good fungal quotes are going down, but this isn't looking too good. Mashiro, he's got his natural back up. He's back on 3 bases. He's got 3 mules. Mules are good. The infantry is still doing good damage, and I'd like to remind everyone of the upgrades. The upgrades are superior for Mashiro. So how did Mashiro win this? Ultimately, even though he lost a lot of workers there, he wasn't too far behind in the worker count. EGIdrA didn't drone up enough. He didn't expand aggressively enough. He stayed on Ling, Roach, Bling, and with a couple of infestors all game, rather than getting out tier 3, even though he had his Ultralist Cavern. So that's another small issue. And when you combine all these things together, you can't just A-move because you had a nice attack at the beginning. And that is all she wrote. So, another one to the playlist of EGIdrA Rage. They're always good fun. I like them. You viewers seem to like them. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think EGIdrA deserved to win that game? And of course, like the video and hit the subscribe button. I get new games up daily, so I'll catch each and every one of you tomorrow for yet another new cast. I'm Madals. Thanks for watching. See you soon.